We're short people and everybody decided to come back to work.
Okay, well, call the meeting to order. 6:02. Is there anybody in the lobby?
Everybody decided
Well,
to
there
come back to
is
work.
All right, so no public comment. Call the meeting to order.
Tell them to turn their sound on so we don't hear them.
Is there anybody? So the finance meeting from last time minutes. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes?
Make motion.
A second, all in favor? That's what I welcome, Andy. I figured I should make the motion since you weren't here last time to second it, so. All right. So the first thing is the audit fees.
Well, I got an email today from our auditor. And I included it in this packet, so the timing was good. But so our fiscal year ended June 30th, and last year I was not happy that they didn't do our audit until, I mean, it was like January, I think, before they finally came to our meeting, and 6 months is what we have to get everything filed with the state and all that. And I don't like being that tight on the timeline, so I asked them to do it a little earlier. But she said the fee this year is gonna be $16,625.
How much are the last?
$8,800.
Wow.
So I don't know if we have time to go out for bid, but I would suggest if we do, that we do. Because
Yeah.
I sent her an email back. I don't know if she responded yet or not, but she hadn't last I checked. Because I was very concerned about how much they raised it.
So you had, obviously, and
I did.
yeah.
So I'm not really sure, but I mean, I don't know how we can accept that large of an increase and not.
Inflation's high, but not double. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, I can see that it goes up 500,000, whatever, even if it went up a couple thousand, I might not have been as wigged out, but I'm like a little bit like.
100%.
And I mean, honestly, they used to come here for 3 to 4 days, sit in this room, do everything. Now I feel like I'm doing the audit because they're emailing me. I'm having to send them things, email them everything.
Yeah.
I feel like they're actually doing less here on site and we're having to do more and their price just doubled. So I'm not real happy about that.
Do we have?
I mean,
any
it has been
indication-
so many years since we bid this out.
Right. And we have been happy.
I've
up to
been
this
happy
point.
with their
Up-
service.
yeah, up
I
to
mean,
this-
it's been
obviously.
okay. The last couple of years, they keep pushing us to the end. I mean,
Yeah,
I also don't think we're a difficult audit. Like we get everything around for them. We, get everything ready and we don't really have issues. So I don't know.
Is there any like increased cost for having like a request to be sooner in the year or anything? Like, it doesn't seem like it would be like, oh, it's double the cost because we're doing it. 2
No,
months early or
if
something like that.
they charged me $125 when I needed a letter to go to BSNA. So that was on top of their $9,000 fee or $8,800 fee. We had a $125 charge. So,
well, I guess we'll wait and see what they say. Maybe it was a mistake.
well, I just
Cause that's like almost double.
I know, I said I'm a little concerned about this doubling. I mean,
Yeah.
so we have been using them, I want to say since 2011, 12.
Okay.
So it's been 10 years. It probably, it might be time, but when you're, if the fee isn't that much and you're not unhappy with them, then
Right.
you just kind of keep going with it. But for that kind of money, I feel like we should definitely, if it truly is $16,000. I think we should.
So can I make a motion that if this is correct, we make an option to bid?
Absolutely,
out.
absolutely.
I second.
I'll make that motion.
All in favor?
Yeah, that's.
I was glad it came today because I was like, hey, this works out.
So,
And I guess my other concern is because our year end is over. I don't know if auditors can pick us up now.
I don't see why that would be an issue. I mean, the numbers are what they are, so they're gonna have to come in and audit what we have.
Right, but I mean, are they already booked up? Like our
Mhm.
auditors already filled
Right.
up? Are we gonna have trouble getting an auditor?
I mean,
Well, if we
that's
do, I
possible.
wouldn't cut this bridge off until we figured it
Yes.
out, right?
Right, I mean, we may have to pay this year, but I feel like
Right.
we should really.
Yeah.
I
If we
mean,
can
if
find
it truly
something.
is that much, it's like,
Yeah.
why? I did ask her why and I did get a response.
I mean, even if we do ask or bid it out, if they say they can't do it this year, we at least have a price for next year. We
Right,
could give them a go ahead for next year, because if it's cheaper than this,
So-
that's.
so next month I'll either be bringing their, engagement letter or
Mhm.
we'll be bidding it out. One or the
Yeah.
other. Or you guys will be deciding. So. Yeah, that was a shocker.
That is.
Yeah, that's.
All right, so next thing, the parking lot.
So when we bid out the road work. We also got permission to look at doing some parking lots and stuff like that, so. I provided you, I hope I did I give you a copy of this?
Mhm.
Okay, with the prices. So,
Yeah.
we got these today as well, the prices for, the city hall parking lot. And the William Street parking lot, and I think the William Street parking lot is probably double what we had thought it was gonna be, or somewhere in that range, no?
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Substantially higher.
Yeah. But we originally didn't think that it was as bad as it was, but apparently there is a tree over there with lots of roots. Doing a lot of damage to that parking lot.
What parking lot are we talking about?
It's the one behind the businesses on William Street.
Oh.
Like if you go to the vet clinic, there's
Yeah.
a white fence right there
Yep.
and the parking lot
Okay.
down that way. So, I guess we need to determine if we want to do these parking lots while he's here, because we did get prices for them. I mean, I looked through minutes. I don't think we ever really clarified that we would actually do it, so.
Okay, so it's 19,000 for.
Here.
And 36 for the one.
That one is a lot bigger than this parking lot.
It's a lot bigger. That includes the wood maintenance and
What does that mean?
they'll have to go in there. They'll have to dig down where the wood's coming through and put a chemical in. It'll stump the growth of the wood, make it not go into. Like add a torn onto it, so it'll quit growing up through the bunker lines.
So this is the parking lot and this is the roadway. Is most of it in this area right here? That's the problem? Because I mean, I park there a decent amount. Where is the route
The alley, come off the alley where the trees are at. on the
coming
left.
off the alley? Yeah. Right, so here's the alley and you come off right in
Yeah,
that area.
where
Okay.
them trees are at, that's, and
It was-
they're nice trees, you don't wanna take the trees out.
No,
Okay.
It just,
We gotta do
it
something.
was on our list to do those two parking lots, but the other one is a lot more than we had anticipated.
Right.
And I mean. I haven't went and looked at it lately.
I went and looked at it after talking to see what this morning, and it's pretty rough.
But you park there and don't.
it's rough at the beginning for
Okay.
sure. I'm just saying the rest of it, to me, unless I go look again, but it's rough at the beginning, but not the whole parking lot. I think.
Correct. but
So what's the
it's-
size difference? Is that why they're,
To this?
yeah,
Double.
yeah, so that makes sense then, if it's about double what this
Right.
is.
I
So-
think
Or we can rebid these out and do them.
it makes
Is this
sense
in
to
the
do it when they're
budget?
here.
So last year we budgeted 20,000 and this year we budgeted 20,000. So we moved them to capital outlay and we already have 5 in there. So there's 45,000 sitting there. So it's a little short.
Okay.
But we probably have enough money to move into capital outlay to cover it. Let's see, what is it, about 10,000 short, we said?
Yeah,
To do both.
to do both.
Yeah,
Which one needs it the most?
they're both shot.
Right.
I mean, Gail, since
I
you
mean-
park there, does it get, I feel like it gets a lot.
It
of
gets a lot more use than it ever did.
I feel like
for
it gets a
sure.
lot of
Yeah.
use.
Yeah. And I have to say, the first half
And
is not.
We haven't done anything to it.
No, No,
since
just-
it was built,
No,
right? So,
It would make sense to do it while they're doing that.
and there's no guarantee that if we bid it out. Separate from what they got now, the prices may be better.
I know.
Right.
I'll make a motion to do the parking lot, both of them.
Second. We have to take that to council to.
yeah, you guys would
Approve
just
it.
take it as a recommendation to sit,
Okay.
so like when they get to us on the agenda, when they get to finance, you can
Right.
just. He'll just say what you guys did here, because
Okay.
they won't have our meeting minutes until next month, so they just
Right.
say that the finance committee recommends. You know, that we bid out the audit and the finance committee recommends that we approve,
I just can't imagine it being any cheaper, or it could be more expensive if we go.
because their equipment's already here, there's, you know.
The prices keep going up. Grand River parking lot.
Let's let you handle that.
I don't know.
So there's,
you're
there's
yeah,
a picture, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I think it was here when DPW meeting. So you seen it then, and I know I gave you a copy, so you could look at it that I had. But, do you think they're gonna be here tonight? Cause that's when we left the meeting. From the school board, they want to get going. But I don't think they understand. You know, like Paula said, if we were gonna build something at this time frame, we would be in January getting everything bidded. And
Right.
get going and get on people's schedules and, I mean, cause some people aren't just sitting around twiddling their thumbs, they have their schedule.
Well,
Right.
but I guess my big concern is that. We don't know the cost, and neither
Right.
does the school right now, and so. I can ask you guys to approve this parking lot, but I'm asking you to write me a blank check.
Right.
So they threw around the idea of like us saying up to a certain amount, but we have absolutely no figures on anything.
Right.
besides
And I
that.
didn't get anything since our meeting, other than I did ask for that electronic copy so I could send it to you guys.
So there's a pretty good chance that some people from maybe the school board is gonna be here tonight. Because they'd like to get it in their minds done before school got back
Right.
into session.
And looking at the map too. Is the existing parking lot going to be removed in order to make one larger one? That's kind of how it seemed to me. In the diagram that like it's,
Yes,
Yeah.
what's there
So
will
like-
be removed.
okay,
Yes.
so like we tore down the buildings, obviously. but,
Yeah,
like,
and then I'll be taken down.
Okay, so like
Yeah.
all those things have to be done even before they start looking at building the new, right?
Yeah,
So
but the thing is it hasn't
Seems
been
we're a
put
lot
out
of
to
stuff,
bid.
so-
We don't really have any idea of cost at all.
And they want
And-
to do it in August, or
and-
have it done by, what, August 18th?
24.
Okay, whenever school starts, they'd like to be done by then.
No,
but-
June.
So it's so weird because I went to this school board meeting and I said something about it and they acted like it, and then not even 2 days later, then they emailed and they wanted to talk about it. But still, we don't have any idea cost wise what we're looking at, and
Who's heading that up, getting the costs? Is that the
that
school or
the
something like that?
school is.
Can I say something, even on that part of your meeting? What kind of bugged me about this is they went ahead without us and started tearing everything down. We were trying to see about getting
Right.
Right,
money for it. And they just went ahead and did it.
Yeah.
My concern is them going ahead and doing it on them, take it upon themselves, do it again.
Yeah.
Then, you know what I mean, without the approval. I mean, do you have that,
We don't, yeah,
you know?
we've not approved anything in
I don't
particular.
think that they're gonna go forward with the construction without our approval. Because it's so much money that I think they want to share the cost. I think we're doing the best we can to inform you guys of what we know when we know it. But you're the decision makers. If you don't want to move forward, if you don't want to do the 50%, somebody's gotta make that.
Well, what
decision.
about council going to one of their meetings, everybody? I mean, is that feasible?
Well, they're supposed to be coming to this one supposedly.
I mean, if they don't
That's
show
what
up,
But I think that,
do we show up?
but I think that you should go with what are you looking for in mind? What do you want to accomplish by going to their meeting?
Find out if somebody's got some kind of figures on dollar,
Even if they don't, we've already,
big
asked-
bids and all that stuff.
we don't have any of that.
Huh,
So we've already asked them that. We
Right.
met with them, we've asked them that, we have no numbers. They don't have numbers. The guy, their engineer said, I won't even make a guess at the meeting.
I just hate to say 50%, when we don't even know it's 50% of what.
Right.
And I mean, I 100% agree. I feel like, we want this to be a good partner. I don't think anyone is against getting this project complete.
Right.
We're
This
just
is
trying
a
to
great
figure out
project.
how we're gonna get there, right?
Do
Like,
we have money set aside for this?
I mean, I don't believe we necessarily have anything, you know what I mean? We haven't set aside money that like, we know it's gonna be, our share's gonna be 100,000 or what, I mean, we do have money in our, like general fund or capital outlay fund, but we don't, and we have our ARPA funds we haven't spent, I mean, we could put them there. So we just. No, we haven't, because we kind of. I feel like, and I kind of feel like that's not their take, is that we didn't know it was gonna be built this year. I mean, we didn't plan for that.
Right.
Can we probably make it happen? Yes. I mean, we talked about doing grants. Those don't happen overnight, and so we're trying to figure out, I mean, we got this drawing, which the school did, but, they're paying their engineer and everything. We haven't been asked to help with any of that, but we don't know whether we're going to be asked that. But, when that demolition came at 40,000, I think we were a little surprised. It's not that we didn't, I mean, we knew they were gonna demo it, but again, I say they, because it wasn't we.
That's the thing that kind of shocked me, was because it's like 2 days later and all of a sudden it's like, oh, we went and done it in 2 months, when I was sitting there talking about, we need to get some kind of committees to start talking about this with the communication after just getting the bill and no really.
And we have had a committee, that's the problem, right? You've been there since the beginning. And, I mean, you and I haven't missed a meeting, we went to them, and I feel like we have had a committee, but they have a committee too.
So it obviously is on the docket to talk about tonight. I don't know if school board people will show up and what their thoughts are, but
I
from
mean,
a
my-
finance, from my thought is, I hate to say 50% of something we don't know. There's another option of doing it up to a certain amount, but I hate that number too, because then you're throwing out the number that you're willing to spend. It's just, I feel like we gotta wait until we get some solid numbers.
And I agree. I feel like that, we wanted like the planning commission and the DDA to weigh in on it, and, maybe the DDA would partner with some funding, who knows, maybe I could find a grant, but not if we're gonna build it this year, I can't.
Right.
I mean, it's not gonna happen. So,
And I get their desire to get it done.
Yeah.
Right.
School bus efficiency and stuff this year.
Yeah.
Can't
Yeah.
happen, it can't happen.
their need is different than ours.
Yeah.
Right, I mean, their urgency is different than ours, but
Mhm.
I think everybody is pleased that it's gone. But would everybody be pleased if they knew, that it was, 90,000 to buy it, 40,000 to tear it down? And we still don't have any paper, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, there are things we can do a little bit differently, and I think that the school also has a different, set of funds for site improvements and things like that. We don't necessarily have. So I think more of anything else, this is just sort of an education, we're just kind of bringing you up to date, trying to let you know, but. As far as the committee goes, we've been there, we've been talking, and things just started moving really fastly, I think, in Lee, we're not. I don't know, I don't know, I don't
Because it
want
was
to,
at one point where they were gonna move the thing in the fall of last year, and then it didn't happen.
right,
And then it was gonna bring spring break, and it's always been a little bit longer than.
I feel like the communication was not the best it could have been on the demolition, for sure. How's that?
Yeah, because I walked out my door and
There was,
people were like, what's going on? And I'm like, I don't know, I can hear it.
Fuel tank.
it was preschool graduation.
Yeah,
It was crazy, you know, so, but I mean, I think that we have to figure out what direction we want to go, and I think we also have to keep the end goal in mind, that we
Right.
do want this project to happen,
Yeah.
and we do want to have a partnership with the school. We just gotta figure out how we can be happy with that, right?
Because we all agree this is a lot safer. It gives parking that we need. It's so much great
Kind of
thing.
jumping ahead to tonight, but the Frontier or parcel, $500, is that right in that parking lot as well, or right next to it?
Yep, so if you look on that map,
That's kind of my understanding.
there's like a little 5 or 6 foot strip.
Is it
I can show you where it is.
like
It is right.
before the house?
It was in between the back
Like right.
unit and
oh,
the
right
front
there,
unit.
right there.
So is that the piece that we tried to get before
Yes,
and now they're gonna sell it?
well, before, it was just going up for back taxes, and then the
Okay.
state told us we couldn't take it for back
Right.
taxes. And then, so now I finally got a hold of someone
Okay.
to buy it.
Okay.
I mean, does that change
Yeah, we
anything
should-
for like plans or anything like that? Like no.
Well, it's right in the middle of the, so we don't own this, so if we pave it, they could tell us to tear it up someday. I mean,
I think we should buy it for $500.
Yeah,
Because,
$500?
yeah,
eliminate that potential.
well,
Yeah.
so my suggestion, she goes, well, what would you guys pay for? I go, $500.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
I go, if Frontier doesn't want to give it to us, then can we pay $500 for it? And it's been, yeah, so, but I haven't heard back from her again either. She's in California.
Well, I do think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just curious where that's coming into play with that.
We didn't have that first meeting. So you're,
Harvard had softball.
no. No, we're good.
And the team was supporting.
We wanna make a motion of that.
Well, they never showed up.
Looking
Oh,
to
really?
Yeah,
buy
the team
that
was
piece of
supposed to be
property
there
for
at 5:30.
$500.
Yeah.
So they didn't
I'll
start
make
playing
that
until
motion.
6. We gotta finish our meeting, sorry.
So on the parking lot, there's no recommendation from finance, right?
I would say on a parking lot, my recommendation is to wait until we have solid numbers before we move
So
forward.
you guys can just talk about that tonight during the, we
Yeah,
don't really need a motion or whatever.
No,
And then on the Frontier piece,
I make a motion that we buy that. for-
Okay. and I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
yeah, I just wanna, have approval so that if that lady comes back and says, yes, we can do that, then I can just go ahead and get that taken care of.
Yeah, I think that's good.
I got a couple of minutes left. Is there anything on the council agenda you guys have questions about that I didn't put on this agenda?
I see the SATA, that's money that comes up every year.
Yep.
That's increasing as well.
Yeah, but that's a good thing to have but I don't think there's anything that. So. If there's nothing else, Randy, we'll send this packet around and you can start to look at through, get acquainted with what bills they are. But that's part of our job at the finance. Bills.
And then I need the finance committee to sign those 2 sheets.
We all sign the same paper or each sign our own copy?
Now there's a place for each of us. All right, so if there's nothing else, I think you're gonna make a motion that.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
on paper. All right,
Well, before 6